Hello everyone and welcome to Syngenta Seedcare. We are very happy to welcome today our Seedcare leaders. We have Jonty Brown, who is our head of Seedcare, Kristel Burgemeister, who is the head of Seedcare Institute, and Palle Pedersen, head of product management. We thank you, our customers, for placing our trust in us as your partner along the journey to maximize the potential of the seed. Today, we are really happy to talk to you about some exciting new technology that we have in store for you. My name is Andrea Popa, and I am Global Key Account Lead for Seedcare. Before I hand over to Jonty for introductory remarks, let's take a look at a short video that shows our last 10 years of history together. Jonty, over to you.
Right, thanks very much, Andrea. Good afternoon, everybody. It gives me great pleasure to be here, first of all. It's my first time at ISF. I'm Jonty Brown. I'm the Global Head of Seedcare. I've been in the role about 6 months, which is why I need to be surrounded by really capable people from the team here, and they can answer all the tough questions. And look, it gives me the double pleasure of being here, sadly not in physical presence with you all, just on the basis that the COVID continues. I pulled up this slide behind us, the welcome slide, deliberately because it's all about Syngenta with you guys, our customers, and in this case, in the field with customers, training and educating them. Hopefully the times will come where we can get back to normality as soon as we can, and I can meet with you and the team can meet with you in physical presence again. But Syngenta's mantra in this period of the last 18 months has been very much focused on the safety. Safety of our team, safety of our customers, safety of our clients and farmers right around the world. We play a unique part in delivering food and sustainable food production for the world, and safety continues to be the mantra under the COVID times. My other reflection is on the video. The video was a 10-year frame of where we've come from since we had Seedcare. Now, Syngenta's history in seed treatments is much longer than that. We've actually been in seed treatments for around about 40 years, formerly as ICI and then AstraZeneca, and from the Ciba-Geigy and the Sandoz times to Novartis, and in the merger of 2000 with Syngenta. In 2010-11, we came with the Seedcare logo. We came with the P, the A, and the S strategy to support you, our customers. And that's what we continue to frame ourselves around. We believe we have the depth and breadth of a portfolio like no other company in enabling you and your farmers to maximize yield and potential. We have the multiplicative effect with the application, the A, making sure we're able to train and educate you on the technologies and work with you on new and novel technologies that treat the seed. And then in terms of services, supporting training, education, and learning around the Seedcare Institute piece. Luckily, Pali will talk about the portfolio. Kristel will talk about the service side. What we want to do first, though, is specifically talk about the technologies. That breadth of technology that Pali will refer to, he'll talk about Thymereum. It's our new innovation in the seed care space. He'll also talk us through the biological space and what we're doing in biologicals. And latterly, he'll talk about one of our unsung heroes, the Vibrance anniversary. And likewise, Kristel will then talk us through how we do the application and service support through the Seedcare Institutes. So that's what we're going to do. Looking forward to having the questions and answers at the end, and look back to you, Andrea.
Thank you, Jonty. So let's dive straight into it. I keep hearing Thymereum everywhere on the corridors in Syngenta and also outside. So tell us a bit more about this new technology that we're bringing to the market.
Well, isn't that exciting? Everybody talks about it. You know, I'm really excited. You know, we're really excited about it. So Thymereum technology is a new active, new solution, new product offers that will come from Syngenta Seedcare that we're working on. This was a product that was discovered in a very specific research project looking into the nematicide space. We first launched the first seed applied nematicide in Seedcare back in 2006 with Avicta and Abamectin in cotton in US. And then since then, that portfolio have revolutionized throughout the world. We today are working on the Thymereum technology that will really be a step change in how farmers look at nematode management. One of the challenges, Andrea, and you probably know this, is that nematode is not one solution that will fix it all. When you first have nematodes, you have them forever. You can't really get rid of them. So it's a holistic approach. You pretty much take what we say sometimes, throw the kitchen sink at it. So crop rotation, you need to use genetic varieties that have tolerance or resistance to these nematodes, and then of course seed treatment is a key component. And with the Thymereum technology, we will be able to move that bar up to a level that we have not seen before in the industry, and we're really excited to be able to do that.
It is sounding exciting. So there's one thing I'm taking from here, which is the fact that Thymereum is able to control all plant parasitic nematodes.
Yeah, this is what was unique about it, and what our chemists and our scientists did an excellent job when they were looking at this product, is to be able to find a molecule that have control or activity on all plant parasitic nematode in the field on our major row crops here.
So let's talk a bit about the quadrant behind you. So we see 4 pieces in here, which is below, above, easy, and sustainability. These are the benefits that Thymereum brings. What does Thymereum do below the soil?
That's right, Andreas. So if we talk about the below ground, of course it is the broad spectrum activity on plant parasitic nematode, but an additional benefit we have with Thymereum is also it has some disease activity on specific soil-borne diseases, which is really unique. So many of these complexes that happen below ground, there are interactions. So you have nematode creating wounds on the roots for these pathogens that can get into the roots or vice versa. So here we have an active ingredient that can give you activity against both those components. And so that's a really unique thing. And then on the quarters you see, that's the above ground, what we have identified is there's also some foliar diseases that are occurring during the early seedling stage that it has activity on as well. So it gives you, I would say, peace of mind if you're a grower, that you get the protection from the below ground from nematode, soil-borne diseases, and then of course some of these earlier foliar pathogens that can occur in the field. So this is really, really great.
So provides protection below the ground, above the ground as well,
yeah.
And it's also simple to use. How is that?
Well, that was really, when this project was started back, long time ago. Of course, nematode was the key target. But another thing, there was some challenges were some of the nematicides we see in the market today, the formulations are not the best, they're difficult to handle. So this was a key target, and our chemists and our formulation chemists have done an outstanding job coming up with a final product that is easy to apply, low use rate, safe to the seed. We've done many years of seed safety studies, and then on top of that, it gives these characteristics so we can use it both on farm but also large seed companies' seed plants. So this whole holistic formulation really moved the use of a nematicide seed treatment a step up.
And the last piece is around sustainability. Thymerum is still a chemical product, so how come it can be can have a sustainable profile at the same time?
That's right. So sustainability is a key focus for us in Syngenta, and you hear about it and you read about it. You know, we're very focused on improving the sustainability platform around food production, and Thymerum, because of its very low use rate, that's one benefit. But what we have identified is some of these pathogens and nematodes, where we have had problems before, we can now promote conservation tillage practices and no tillage practices that previously have not been able to be done to be achieved because you have too many of these stresses doing the establishment. So a great example, you will hear from Kristel later. Kristel is from Australia, and in Australia, moisture is always a challenge. So we have to conserve it, and no-tillage practices is something that has been promoted for many decades there. And but a lot of times when you have these kind of practices, you may have problems that are occurring. A good example is crown rot, Fusarium crown rot. There is a big challenge there. And now with Thymerum technology, we will be able to go in and tell farmers that you can still be able to have a crop, you can still make a profit, you can still use conservation tillage practices, conserve the soil moisture, because all this uniqueness that this technology will bring. So this is a great story.
Well, it does sound very exciting, and I have to ask you the question which is probably on everybody's lips. When can we get our hands on the product?
Well, we're still on the timelines to what we have promised earlier to get in the market, and it will come up very soon.
Okay, good. Well, we are all looking forward for that.
Thank you so much.
So, since we're on the topic of sustainability, I have quite a lot of my customers, at least, that are asking me, when is Seedcare going to bring a biological offer to the market? What can we say to them?
Well, Andrea, we've been in the market for a long time, and our first biological, so let me roll back here. So biologicals, we're talking about biocontrol and biostimulants. And we launched the first biocontrol product in 2013 in US. It was called Clariva PN. It's a biological nematicide, and then since then we have gone into what we call the biostimulant space, and we've been in that area for 5 years. This is an area that is very close to our heart. We currently have 3 products in the market today, P.A.S Energy, P.A.S Vigor, and P.A.S Sky. And they are all in this, I will call them category of biostimulants. So either they're stimulating the plant metabolism and early growth of these seedlings and plants, or they activate some of these nutrients in the soil and make them available to the seedling during that establishment phase. So they have multiple factors.
Can seed companies or other users all over the world be able to use them?
Absolutely. My best recommendation to you is to go to your local Syngenta rep and get information about registrations. It's a little bit more complicated with the biologicals versus the chemicals. A lot of times the biological, they will interact with soil type, temperature, nutrient, moisture. And so it's not like a chemistry could be more black and white, so you can easily register it throughout many soil types and environmental conditions. These biologicals, and particularly the biostimulants, are more related around they're more depending on conditions, so you will not see them across the world, but they will be more targeted. For example, P.A.S Sky, P.A.S Vigor we sell in Brazil, that fit very well into the Brazil climate and the Brazil soil types. P.A.S Energy, now registered throughout most of Europe, fit very well to the environmental conditions here. So it all depends, but my best recommendation is go to your local Syngenta rep and get your information on what is registered and what's the plans.
Yes, thank you, P.A.S. And maybe one last question on this. What's next in the space of biologicals? Syngenta has recently acquired Valagro, which is a famous company in the area of biostimulants.
Well, we are investing in biologicals like many of the ag companies today are investing in this area. The acquisition of Valagro was a huge win for Syngenta. We see a lot of opportunities with Valagro. Valagro was mostly, of course, working in the crop protection foliar business, but they have a lot of the building blocks that we now look into from a Seedcare perspective, and there will be some opportunities there hopefully down the road.
Great. So we had some great news about products. Our strategy, Jonty mentioned at the beginning, is about products, application, and services. This is our value proposition. The next piece, we are going to talk about Kristel, who is going to show us how the Seedcare Institute is supporting our customers in their journey.
Sure. Thanks, Andrea. And the most important part, as we heard from the beginning, is really that we have innovative products, but we combine those with the application advice and end-to-end service as well. And the Seedcare Institute network plays a central role in bringing this expertise to our customers and really on the ground as well with our Seedcare Institute network. Here you can see actually the Seedcare Institute network and a range of sites, 15 in total. So we started the Seedcare Institute network actually in Stein in Switzerland. And you can see that the Seedcare Institute network has some newcomers. You might not be aware of Mexico, which is now on the map, servicing our Latin America North region, and also Japan as well, which is for direct seeded rice in our new Care offer. As well, the Russian site in Ramon is being expanded right now, so you can look forward to that in Q4. And in addition, the Institute in Singapore has been relaunched this month, actually, to service the emerging markets in Asia-Pacific.
Great. Well, I used to work in Turkey before, and our customers there, especially the Seedcare customers, they love to come and visit the Stein Institute. It was state of the art always. Mm-hmm. How are we still managing to connect to our customers during these difficult times during COVID?
It's a really difficult situation globally with COVID, but actually we managed to connect with customers often in a virtual sense. Our institutes have been closed for the majority of the last year, and we are actually reopening our doors in Stanton this month in the US, where the vaccines have been rolled out quite successfully, and we will maintain COVID principles and good health and safety provisions. And the other institutes we hope to open also later in this year. Of course, we can connect digitally in this time. Actually, we've done on-site remote support with engineering solutions. We also brought Seedcare Campus, our training offer, so that we can make sure that we still train and steward our products appropriately in these times, and that we are able to also virtually demonstrate the benefits of our products with marketing support materials like augmented reality and videos when we can't actually take growers to the field or to the institutes as well.
Mm-hmm. And how do you see the future when the situation does return to normal? Will we come back to face-to-face full meetings again?
Well, it's a good question. I think everyone's knocking on the door to come to our institute, so we can't wait to welcome everyone. But in addition, I think there will be a new normal. And it also opens our mind to bring new technology. So to bring digital offers, maybe more immediate offers to customers' requests. But of course, we still have this network for a reason. We need to maintain our local presence, our local staff and experience as well. And so we will still welcome everybody to our institutes and expand our network, but we will also extend our reach by digital and try to bring the farm as well inside the institute. Wouldn't that be great? So there's lots of things happening in the digital world. We get lots of creativity during these COVID times.
That's great. So we talked about network, mm-hmm. and it looks like we are present in the key locations of the world to support our customers. How about how are we supporting our customers?
Sure. So actually in the Seedcare Institute network, we have 6 global service categories. And in these 6 service categories, we're able to touch the big R&D engine of Syngenta in bringing together innovative products, innovative recipes as well, and we're able to support the quality needs to make sure there's always quality standards in place and that the seeds that we're applying them to are safe with this formulation. In addition, the application and stewardship area is more customer facing, so we're able to go out to have a physical presence with customers, make sure that the products are used appropriately, and that there are also any upgrades or necessary actions for a new product introduction, for example, are maintained. And finally, we always make sure that we're training our people. I mentioned now also online with our Seedcare campus, internally and externally, as well as marketing support to demonstrate the products, create the demand for the new technologies, and what benefits does it really bring.
Well, we've seen that the market is always changing, the trends are changing. How do we manage to keep our services local and on trend?
Sure. Well, the number one thing is we have to speak with our customers, and staying connected is the most important way. The localization is also really important because different trends are happening, but generally across the market we can see trends on biologicals that we just talked about with P.A.S. And also we have additional trends on digitizing our services, I mentioned as well. As well as new things like sustainability, regenerative agriculture. We need to move ourselves to this direction. And we have many customers. We have big seed companies, and we also have a downstream market which we need to service through our partners. And they require sometimes different services because we can't be out there with thousands of smallholders, for example. So we need to find different services that fit their needs as well.
How can we know what our customers need?
We need to talk to them. Yes, for sure. We can't dream in an ivory tower what services customers need. And the localized aspect of the network and sharing the best practice across the network with all these sites. We have new crops coming to some regions. We can gain experience from other markets. We have new ideas coming up all the time, just like for our products, for our services. So the main source of all inspiration is our customers.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Kristel. I'm really looking forward to visiting a Seedcare Institute whenever we are allowed.
We're very happy to welcome people again. Yes.
So we spoke about products, about 2 new exciting products, but we still have quite a few products that are doing a lot of heavy work to support you and your crops. So we have a lot of unsung heroes still in the portfolio. P.A.S, can you talk to us about any of them?
Well, there are many heroes, you're absolutely right. But this year we have specific one hero that we're celebrating, and that's Vibrance. This year is 10 years ago that Vibrance received its first registration. And what's really unique about this one, it was a project that was started to focus solely for seed trimming users only. It was developed to really go after the Rhizoctonia root rot and the protection for that. It was particularly a big issue in soybean, in cereals, in canola and oilseed rape. And then after it was launched, we recognized that there was some very unique characteristics to Vibrance. So Vibrance also have its what we call the rooting power story around it. And it was really that in addition to get really unique disease protections and healthy roots, Rhizoctonia is one of these root nibblers that never will kill the plant. It will just feed on these fine roots. It also gave the plant larger root system. And that helped the farmers on yield stability and more consistent yield across the environment. So this has been a great story. Syngenta won the Agro Award in 2011 for this story around this. And really the story around protecting the plant, promoting root growth and then preserving soil was a big component and fit very well into our sustainability message around particularly our good growth plan on how to preserve our soils and minimizing the impact, promoting conservation, tillage practice and no-till, just like I talked about the maximising technology before. So it has been a great story. Last 10 years have been great, and the next 10 years is probably going to be even better or greater. So yeah, great success story.
That's great. My first memory of Vibrance is seeing a rhizotron with the section of the root. I think everybody remembers. It's quite striking.
That's right. It was really, and that was the Seedcare Institute that really was a forefront on how to promote and show the story around what's happening below ground. Because, many farmers, I'm an agronomist, you like to you don't like to go out and get really dirty and dig up the soil. So if you can't see it from the highway when you're driving down, you never really see the small details. But that's the whole landscape below the ground, the complexity is an untapped area, and this is particularly where we will go with the Thymerum technology. You know that the importance of roots and protecting the soil and improving the soil health cannot be said enough. This is really critical for the sustainability of agriculture in the future.
Well, clearly this is a subject that is really exciting for us, and we're passionate about.
Yeah.
But we would need to pause the discussion here, and we have a few more minutes for a Q&A. So if you just give me 2 seconds and see what questions we have that came up. Okay, this is one for you, Jonty. What are we doing in the area of regenerative ag?
So look, we're doing a huge amount of investment, as you're aware, and Palle alluded to it a second ago. We had the Good Growth Plan. We committed to invest in sustainable innovation, and we committed to $2 billion over a 10-year frame. That's the global level. We're obviously also moving into biologicals, as Palle said, but we're doing things around Seedcare Institute as well. Maybe, Palle, you want to refer a little bit more about the portfolio and how we're developing the portfolio in the biological space and the regen ag space.
Yeah, so that's great, John. Particularly the biologicals is an area where, you know, we are working in and playing in this area right now and are identifying opportunities and have launched, you know, the PVO family that I talked about earlier. But also on our research targets, you know, we're thinking about this when we develop a new product offers, that we want to be sure that they fit into our recommendation and what does it take in regenerative ag. So that means we want to be sure we have products that staying on the seeds, low use rate, we can really help to minimize the tillage practices out there. We believe from a company standpoint that's very critical. So there are many of these variables we take into consideration. But I think what you mentioned before, the biologicals is a great example on areas where we're working now.
Okay. So there is another question maybe for you, Jonty. It's more of a regulatory nature. Are there any updates related to metalaxyl M for sunflower seed treatment in EU 27?
So look, I think all of you are aware of the situation around the registration and the re-registration of metalaxyl M-mefenoxam. We're in the process. We're hitting the timelines, we believe. But the reality is, and you guys know it because you're asking for derogations around the EU, and hopefully we'll get those derogations in place so we can support you, but that's because you're doing all the work and you're doing the running around making sure the European Union are aware of the critical importance and the critical nature of mefenoxam. So we're working hard, and let's hope that your support, your work with the authorities to make sure they understand the need of this product pays dividends. The re-registration specifically, we believe should come back to us for the planting season 2023.
Another question, if Thyram is banned, maybe for you, Palle, what may be other options for seed treatment?
So Thyram has been in the market for many, many years, and I think every seed company knows Thyram out there. One of the things, and I will use vegetable seeds as a great example, when Thyram got banned in the European Union, with our Farmall platform within Syngenta Seedcare, we will be able to close that gap. So fludeoxonil is a great example on an active ingredient that's formulated with registration throughout the world, so we can feel the need for a vegetable seed company. As many of you know, a lot of the seed is produced in Europe, but there's a massive amount of seed movement, particularly on vegetable seeds, to North America, to South America, to Asia, India. So it's very important that we have these registration and platforms in place. And with the Farmall platform and with our portfolio in Syngenta, we've been able to meet that need for the customers. So this is one of the benefits that we have in Syngenta. We've been in a business, you heard John say it before, for more than 40 years, and we have this registration support and to our customers so they can continue their business if things like if an AI like Thyram will disappear in the market. So.
Thank you, Palle, and thank you everybody for the questions. We have a couple of minutes left, and I would like to hand it over back to Jonty for closing remarks.
So look, Andrea, thanks very much, and thanks to the team. Most importantly, thanks to you guys. You're our customers over more than 40 years. We continue to devote our time and energy, as you heard from Kristel. We want to understand your needs, meet your needs better, so you can then deliver the right quality seed to your customers around the world. We'll continue to do so. We'll bring new technologies, innovations in Thymerin, biologicals, and other products. But you know what? Thanks once again for being our partners. We continue to look forward to seeing you physically, face-to-face, but most importantly, physically, face-to-face, and safe. So please take care, be safe, and see you soon, hopefully. Thanks very much.